something. So attitude towards education means your attitude. How you feel about education? What is your perception about education is what attitude towards education. Now, there are different principles, or in this class, we're going to talk about what are the different types of questions, areas that they are addressing in attitude towards education. So I will be discussing about all of them in detail also. So it's educational types. If you have already gone through PYQs or you are browsing questions in our app, you might have seen that there are questions on formal, non-formal, and informal education, right? Then there are different questions on educational views, perspectives on education, and inclusive is a very important area from which every year a question has been asked. Then there is something called as constructivism. Don't worry, we will discuss about it and you'll get a clear idea what this constructivism means. Then there have been specifically questions asked about co-curricular and extracurricular activities. Then there are also questions that deal with core principles of effective teaching, also known as maxims of teaching. So we'll discuss about this also. Shall we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Here.
Yes, sir.
Shall we go ahead or you have a doubt? Okay, we'll go ahead. We'll not waste time. Now, coming to types of education. We had discussed it in the previous class also, and we'll do it now again so that you'll have a complete clarity about it. So in types of education, there are three major ones: the formal education, the non-formal education, and informal education. Many of the students get confused between non-formal education and informal education. Let us look at all the three. What is formal education? Formal education is structured learning in institutions. The learning that takes place in your school, learning that takes place in your college, right? In a structured institution, in a formal setup, is known as formal education. So if anyone is saying or any question comes about formal education means learning in a formal setup, in a structured institution. Let it be school, let it be college. Okay. Then coming to non-formal education. Non-formal education is organized learning. Please remember, it is non-formal is organized, structured, outside formal system. It can be distance education, okay, or it can be some course that you're doing to enhance some skill, right? So not in a formal setup, but in an organized structure is known as non-formal education. Coming to informal education. Informal education talks about unstructured learning in your daily life. Learning can happen at your home, when you are with your friends, right? Learning can happen when you are watching a television. So all the type of learning that happens outside a formal setup and which does not have an organized way of learning is known as unstructured learning. One example of informal, learning or informal, education can be that children learn hot objects should not be touched. How will they learn? If they touch something or if they see someone getting hurt. That is not taught in a formal setup, that it learned informally. So whatever education is learned by a student or by anyone, not in a formal setup, learned from everyday life experience comes under informal education. So is now everyone clear with formal, non-formal, and informal education? Any doubt in this slide? My
No,
friends,
sir.
shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll go ahead. Now, coming to one important slide. This is called perspectives in education, also known as different philosophies that are used in education. So first one is behaviorism. What is behaviorism? Here it says that focuses on observable behaviors and environmental conditioning. Earlier classes used to be teacher centric. There used to be a statement, I don't know if you all have heard or not. They used to say that children come to school as blank slates. It's teachers' responsibility to put something in students' head. So behaviorism is a school of thought which says that behaviors can be learned. And this can be done by repetitive practices or observing or environmental conditioning. I don't know if you all have heard about Pavlov's dog. So I'll just talk about this experiment for 1 minute. So Ivan Pavlov was a psychologist. He did an experiment. What he did, he used to always ring a bell and he had a dog. He used to give food to that dog after ringing the bell. He did this multiple times. And what started happening? Whenever he used to ring the bell, the dog started salivating. Even if the food is not given, if the dog is hearing the bell, the dog started salivating. So what happened here? The dog was being conditioned. So in the similar overview, they say that by conditioning, specific behaviors can be learned. But behaviorism is considered as an old school of thought because then came constructivism. What constructivism says, here it is written, it emphasizes active learning and building knowledge through experiences. It says children build their own knowledge. Here, the role of teacher is mere facilitator. Please listen to it carefully. If possible, note it down. The role of teacher is mere facilitator. Facilitator means the teacher helps, facilitates learning among children. Children construct their own knowledge in constructivism. Teacher's role is to facilitate them or help them. Our National Curriculum Framework 2005, I'll repeat again, National Curriculum Framework 2005 emphasized that all learning has to be now constructivist. So since NCF 2005, constructivism has been adopted, taken, and used all over the country. And the classes that are there now are constructivist style of classes where students construct their own knowledge. So that is constructivism. Now, cognitivism. Anyone has any idea about cognition? Anyone here who knows what does cognition means? Okay, I'll tell you. Cognition is nothing but the mental processes involved in and acquiring knowledge and understanding something. When you're watching TV, you are indirectly acquiring knowledge. Where is it going? It is going into your cognition, in your brain. So cognitivism also highlights mental processes and memory and problem solving. So this is cognitivism, learning through cognition. Then social constructivism. We already learned about constructivism. Then what is this social constructivism? Social constructivism specifically stresses that we learn, students build their own knowledge by social interaction, and cultural context in learning helps a person to construct their knowledge about their surroundings, about their culture and everything. That is social constructivism. Then comes pragmatism. You all might have heard this word being pragmatic, or in conversations you might have heard about be pragmatic. One has to look at it in a pragmatic way. What is this pragmatic? Pragmatism in education views education as a tool for being practical problem solving. If we say someone is a pragmatic person, that means that that person is approaching the problem in a way it can be solved. Okay, so this is pragmatism. One is being very realistic when it comes to pragmatism. If someone says that a person, that means the person is pretty real. He is not delusional or thinks that, okay, this can be done, that can be done. He or she will look at a problem and look at it as what can be done to solve this problem. So views education as a tool for practical problem solving. Pragmatists suggest that education should be a tool that should help learners solve practical problems. That means the problems that exist in our surroundings. Any confusion till here? Any doubts? My dear friends, any doubts, or shall we move on to the next slide? Don't worry, we will discuss a few questions also and this will become pretty clear for you. Shall I move to the next slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Vaishnavi, in the chat box. Now, coming to next thing, that is inclusive education. Let us define inclusive education first. We are starting from the left side. Okay. We are starting from the left side. So let me use a pen. Yes. Let us define, I don't know why it's making a, okay. Let us define inclusive education first. So anyone who knows what does inclusive education means?
Education for all.
Yes. Be loud, you're correct. Okay, so inclusive education is the practice of educating students with diverse needs. It includes those having disabilities. It includes those that are disadvantaged. Okay, disadvantaged means socially disadvantaged, economically disadvantaged, culturally disadvantaged. It includes all types of students. So inclusive education is a practice of educating students with diverse needs, including those with disabilities in general education classroom alongside its peers. Okay, clear about what is inclusive education? So when we say that a class is an inclusive classroom, right? It means all the students, irrespective of any barrier, are allowed to sit in a particular classroom. Now I have a question for all of you. Are all the schools in our country, remember, listen very carefully, are all the schools in our country inclusive? We have different types of school. We have government, aided, private, everything. Do you think all the schools in our country are inclusive?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone who says yes? Now let me tell you a very important fact here. All the schools in our country has to be inclusive. Right to Education 2009. You all have heard about RTE 2009, Right to Education?
Yes, sir.
No child up to the age of 14 can be denied education at any school. This is the law. But I agree with your point. Why you said no is because you have seen many schools who do not admit students who can't pay fees, right? Or who come from a specific background. There are a lot of things happening. You all agree, right?
Yes.
But when it comes to law, when we look at it legally, inclusive education means education for all in all types of schools. Okay, no school can deny education to a child saying that a child is disabled or a child is disadvantaged or saying that this child cannot pay fees. Is it clear for all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, we are talking about disadvantaged students, right? There can be disabled and disadvantaged. Disabled students can have physical disability. You all know what is physical disability, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then there is also something called as intellectual disability. Intellectual disability means disability that is related to your brain. It can be autism, it can be cerebral palsy, it can be mental retardation. Even these type of students are to be given education in normal schools. Every child has to be given education in normal schools. That's where comes equity. Equity means giving same type of education to all the students based on their needs. Again, there's a difference between equality and equity. I don't know if many of you might have seen that small photo where people are standing and watching a cricket match. In first photo, everyone is standing normally and one person is not able to see. Whereas in second photo, there are some blocks kept under and everyone is able to see equally. Equity means giving opportunity based on the needs of a person to help everyone have a proper view. So that is equity. Then an inclusive setup should have diversity. Diversity means including all diverse people in a classroom. Then providing equal participation to all the students, irrespective of any of their background or any of the problem that they have. Participation, equal participation should be provided. Then there should be collaboration. There should be collaboration between parents and the school, the community and the school, and a clear environment should be provided for the child to be in a classroom, irrespective of whatever problems they have. Then support systems. A school should have support systems for students with different issues or different problems. It can be disability. For example, a classroom should be having no sharp corners or sharp benches for to aid a person with visual disability or blindness. Similarly, a classroom should be situated on the ground floor for a person who has disabled legs. So, providing support systems in the education system is a core part of inclusive education. Now, you all might have observed that almost all schools have ramps. Have you seen?
Yes, sir.
Earlier, there used to be only stairs. Now, it is compulsory that all schools should have ramps. That's why you see that many schools now have ramps and students, irrespective of their disability, can come into the class. Then, professional development of teachers is also very much necessary here, because if a teacher is not professionally developed, the teacher doesn't know what are the different areas and aspects that they should know to help students with diverse needs, then it will be a very difficult task for him or her in the classroom as a teacher. Don't you agree? So professional development is also very important. So you are clear about inclusive education. Shall we move on to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Sir, can you explain collaboration once again?
Yes. When we talk about collaboration, right? I'll just a minute. Yes. So collaboration means collaboration among educators, families, support staff. And why do we need to collaborate among educators, families, support staff, the social community? This is to create a supportive learning environment to benefit all the learners, all the different types of learners. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for asking that doubt, Sanidhi.
Okay.
Shall we proceed to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, you have heard about co-curricular and extracurricular activities. Can anyone tell me first what are these co-curricular activities?
Apart
No.
from studies,
Okay, apart from studies. What are these activities? Can you name few activities? Co-curricular and extracurricular. Now I'm asking about co-curricular. Then I'll move on to extracurricular.
Which are related to the education.
Means, very good. That's correct. Can you please elaborate?
Like debate on a topic or explanation of a topic.
So you might have had these activities in school, right? Yes. You might have had all these type of activities in your school. What kind of activities used to be conducted?
Quiz.
Quiz. Okay.
seminars,
Writing competition.
Sorry, Arpita, can you please repeat?
Writing competitions.
Writing competition, okay. Essay writing, yes. Debates, extempore, painting. So co-curricular activities are nothing but the extension of what you're learning in the classroom to help you develop strong skills, right? It can be debates, it can be extempore, it can be speech and other things that you have essay writing, right? All these things come in co-curricular activities. And what is extracurricular activities?
Apart from the education field and extra development of a student.
Very good, Chinmay. Very good. Can you give some examples also, please? Yes, Vaishnavi is correct. It's music and sports. Dance competitions, your clubs, echo club, literary club, right?
District level competition.
Yes, all these comes under extracurricular. Now, do you all think a school should always have this co-curricular and extracurricular activities?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So let us see how having co-curricular and extracurricular activities benefit learners. And remember, in all the RIE CEs, at least one question is asked about co-curricular and extracurricular activities. So listen carefully. So first one is reinforcing learning. So co-curricular activities also reinforce learnings by providing a platforms to students to showcase their skills and practice have learned into use. It can be speech, it can be extempore, where a student is talking about a specific issue. For example, if someone is having a debate on surrogacy, we have learned about IVF in class 8th, and we have learned about reproduction in class 8th, class 10th, right? So using all that knowledge, all that information, a person can showcase, talk about, put forward their views, which helps in reinforcing learning. So having co-curricular and extracurricular activities helps us reinforce learning. Then it helps us in developing diverse skills. Okay? Diverse skills such as public speaking or developing a specific skill towards a particular sports, or as written by Vaishnavi, painting, right? So it helps us develop diverse skills. Then it promotes holistic development. Not only academics, it helps us develop mentally, physically, and it helps us holistically develop. So if a question comes that does co-curricular and extracurricular, what does co-curricular and extracurricular activities help us to do? There is an option of holistic development. Holistic development means overall development of a person. Clear? Holistic means including everything. Then enhance engagement and motivation. Having co-curricular and extracurricular activities have been proven to enhance engagement and motivation among learners. Then foster social interaction and belongings. By participating in this co-curricular and extracurricular activities, students interact. Yes or no? They group together and they participate, they plan, they execute. So this enhances social interaction among their peers, their seniors, their juniors, teachers, everything. And it gives them a sense of belongingness in that particular school or whatever activity that they're doing. So I'm doing it for my school. I'm doing it for my group, right? So it fosters social interaction and a sense of belonging. Then it helps identify natural talents. Very important point. We might have seen many singers coming out, we might have seen many players coming out. Most of them have been identified in schools. Do you know of the top talents? Let it be singing, let it be dancing, let it be public speaking, let it be any type of sports. Many of them have been identified in schools. How were they able to identify? The opportunity of this co-curricular and extracurricular activities, which is an essential part of a schooling system. Then it also helps in improving academic performance and prepares for future success. Engaging students in mere classroom learning will not help them prepare for outside world. It's very necessary for them to have and make them participate in this co-curricular and extracurricular activities. Any doubt till here? All clear?
Yes, sir.
All clear about co-curricular and extracurricular activities? I'm sorry, I've not added it in the heading, but I think you have got an idea about this co-curricular and extracurricular activities. Shall we move on to the next one, all of you?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Now, there is something known as teaching principles. Okay? It is also called as maxims of teaching. How a teaching should go in the class. So there are multiple things that I have given here. There are so many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things I have put on here, also known as maxims of teaching or maxims of learning also it is called as. So what are these maxims of learning? From known to unknown. Start with what students already know. Knowledge to introduce new concepts. How will it help students? This helps create sense of familiarity and makes learning easier for students. Okay. So for example, you're talking about microorganisms in class. Okay. You're talking about microorganisms in class. What can you start with? What is known for students? Any idea? You want to start the topic microorganisms in class. What is known by the students?
That the smallest living creatures.
Okay, that is still not known because you have not started the class, but they might have heard about microorganisms in their daily life. Good attempt, Harshita. But so now, what do students know about microorganisms? Or have they heard about it somewhere?
The diseases that are caused by microorganisms.
Very good. Diseases that are caused. In the very recent time, we had a very big issue because of which we were all locked in our homes.
COVID-19.
Very good. COVID-19 is something that every child will know, yes or not?
Yes, sir.
And what caused COVID-19?
Coronavirus.
Virus.
Virus. Virus is a microorganism, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So we are going from known to a specific thing. Here, see, simple to complex, particular to general. So taking from everyday life experiences. How many of you have watched your Lifebuoy ad?
Yes, sir.
That Bunty tera sabun slow hai kya? If dhote jao, dhote jao, dhote jao. You all might have watched this. So there also they talk about germs that we cannot see, something like that. So there are lots of contexts that are already known to the child. So you have to start with something that they know and connect it to the concept. That is the unknown, the topic. They already know that there are so many things that we cannot see from our naked eyes, but they don't know they're called microorganisms. So taking it from known to unknown. Similarly, simple to complex. It talks about beginning with basic ideas and gradually moving towards intricate and challenging concepts. So this allows them to build strong foundations. Then there is something called from concrete to abstract. Introducing concepts with real life examples, right? And giving them sensory experiences before moving to theoretical or abstract ideas. Before we teach them about heart, they should know about what is blood, what are arteries, what are veins, right? So starting from concrete to moving to abstract. Then from whole to part. This is nothing but from general to specific. So there are multiple like that, from analysis to synthesis, from empirical to rational, that is starting with knowledge based on observation and experience. Then leading students to logical reasoning and explanation, that is rational. From psychological to logical, considering the students' interests, abilities, needs, okay? All these things, we plan lessons and we deliver lessons. From actual to representative. Use real objects, models, direct learning experiences in class. And from near to far, begin teaching about immediate environment and experiences, and then students expanding more distance and unfamiliar topics that we did here in this class. So these are nothing but maxims of learning. And if we synthesize this, what it generally talks about is we have to start with something that the students already know and connect it to the concepts. You all might have, when you were children also, you all might have known that there are some organisms that cause diseases or that are there, which we cannot see from our naked eyes. But you didn't know that it is called microorganisms, and you didn't know that there are multiple types available in it. You might have heard about virus, you might have heard about other things. Only when you came to school, you got to know all those things. But as a teacher, when you teach in the class, you have to connect it. We use a word called previous knowledge. Previous knowledge can also again now be of three types: formal, informal, and non-formal. You know all these three, right?
Yes, sir.
So if a student is sitting in your class, you people being the teacher, if a student is sitting in your class, you cannot say that this student doesn't know anything. There is so much knowledge that is already there in the child's head. Learned from formal, that is their previous classes. Informal, right? That is attending tuitions or doing some course, online learning, something might be there. Informal, watching TV, talking to the friends, talking to the siblings, right? So a child will come in the class with lot of knowledge. We have to guide that child's knowledge and make them understand that what you have known is nothing but this, and go little abstract there. Clear?